back to Venusian Wave. This is your moon vibes reading for the Sagittarius new moon, December 1st, coming up. This is your intuitive astrology and tarot reading for each sign, sun, moon, or rising, whichever you feel so inclined to take a look at. All those timestamps will be below, and with that will be my information to work with me one-on-one. I'll be doing a Black Friday sale off all my services, which are found on my website, and all payment options are also found on my website, on the services page, and the links below. So if you feel so inclined, subscribe, like, comment, share this, book a session. I'm ready for you, and I'm here for you. Also, actually, I think that's it. Let's get into the readings. Aries, 9th house, coming out already, coming out hot and strong. A lot moving through your mind, your belief systems, a lot changing right now, many things coming in. You may be, if you feel like you're detoxing this week up until the new moon, it's because there's something that really wants to make its way to you to help you with wherever you're feeling stuck. The important thing here is not to jump ahead or rush, but to let it come in. And then when it does, whatever you need to hear and receive around this new moon, that's when you go act. Acting prematurely will only, and could be harmful for you in many ways. You don't want to repeat this cycle. Really, this is about this could be the reason why it's happening. The reason why this is happening is for you to solidify some new perspective, some new belief. This also may include travel. You may also, for some of you may get stuck somewhere, but don't be afraid if you don't have the money for it. It will come to you. Something may be very surprising to a lot of you. Yeah, doing anything hasty or rash right now is definitely not what you want to do. But you also may notice that the more that you understand that, the more you come to the conclusion of how you got to this place anyway, and how you got to overcoming it. And I think the most important thing is that you're overcoming it now. Especially if it's a rut with money or your value. Things are starting to move quickly for you. So let yourself go through whatever process it is leading up to the new moon and know that the information is coming, and it's coming to you through communication. It also may be wherever you're stuck. Wherever you're stuck, the more that you go to that place and not avoid it, the quicker the answer or whatever you need to move through that comes to your mind and is easier to communicate to you. Maybe it needs to communicate to you and you're only thinking it comes from an external place. This is a time of great triumph for a lot of you as well. But it's an inner triumph. And it's a way of seeing the world, and it really shifts the way you've seen things. It really shifts something that you thought, you may have never thought you would change the way you saw how money can come through or how information can come through. Okay? Let yourself be surprised, Aries. Let yourself be surprised, because there's value to wherever you've been stuck. It's just run its course. Okay? Taurus, sun, moon, and rising, 8th house of your partner's resources, other people's resources, your employer. This is also your connection with your mental and your dental health. So if you need a checkup, please get yourself a checkup. If your mind needs some settling, or if something works for you that helps your mental, do it. You may also need to change that up, but let's see what the cards have to say for you. Talking about resources. I'm also going to just take a sip of water. Ace of Pentacles. Money. New money. You're receiving an idea that has longevity. You are receiving the next step to your path. and is being communicated to you through valuable ideas. But you have to feel like you're in that place. It's like a new, fresh start. That's why a lot of you have been feeling more modest, or you feeling like pulling back from a lot of overindulgence. You've been getting a lot of signs, whether they are in your face or subtle signs to pull back in this way, to stop spending time here, to stop spending energy there, start spending energy here. You slowly start to see your life take shift and different shape. Just gonna pull one more with this ace, and it was the bottom. I was gonna pull it up, and it will be communicated to you ever so sweetly. This could be also a shift in communication, a shift in the way you make money. So if you're looking to start something on the side or start something new, they say don't start things new. Well, maybe you need to. Maybe you need to, because I love astrology. I love all the systems. I will absorb and listen to all the systems that I learn about, and the more I learn about them, the more I just go into them. And however, there are times, as a Taurus rising, I'm going to just say this to you, where you can psych yourself out by needing too much validation. This is about giving it to yourself. This is about receiving information, seeing the light, and expressing that. This is about communicating differently. There could be a way of communication that changes your course of money. You don't need to know anymore. You already know, and it's time to get centered on that. And the Sagittarius new moon is making it very clear for you. Yes. Okay. That's it for Taurus. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Your cards are coming out quick. Sun, Moon, and Rising. Your cards already fell out. This is for your 7th house of one-on-one committed partnerships, whether it is a love relationship, if it is a business partnership, clients, intimacy with self and others. Okay. So very straightforward, actually. This has become very clear where you've been wasting your valuable resource. You're very, wherever you've been investing time and money, whatever's been coming up, wherever you feel like very independent, you feel very clear about what you have, all of a sudden there's a change that happens. You realize that there is more to the story, and you have something to know about this person or this partnership that may cause you to walk away. And it looks like a peaceful walk away. And once you decide what you want to do with the information that you've been given, it might be you being charitable by walking away in that way. And it makes a very clear boundary for whomever is showing up in your life at this point. There is an attachment to what you've built, of course, and how much energy you put into this way of life. And you can still keep going. It's gonna still keep going. However, there is decisions, very clear decisions that you will make, and it will only make you stronger, only make you realize what you weren't able to, right? This isn't you, and if you're single, this is about you owning your power and walking away from those relationships that don't give you what you know you deserve just because they might be a little interesting. You can meet much more interesting people, you can, and you have to be willing to let go of some existing relationships. knowing that each person is bringing you there, and then just honoring the moments that you had. Perhaps if you are in a relationship, you're being tested on your own sense of worth. You may need to have real serious conversations right now with yourself about maybe renegotiating the relationship moving forward. This could be in business too, so take either one of these as business as well. But then there's very clear decisions that need to be made, and you also may see where you've been very stubborn and where that has been helpful but also kept you from information that you've needed to know. So a lot of information, Gemini, but overall, your value to yourself and other people's worlds becomes very apparent to you, and it causes you to make decisions or up your prices, some of that. And your clients may just oblige, so try it out. All right, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is for your 6th house of health, work, if you got any pets. Again, cards coming out quick. All right, so the mental focus and discipline to build the money that you want to make. You're coming full circle with money and how you've been focused. If you have been someone who is focused and dedicated and disciplined, this is going to perhaps come back to you tenfold. You may be going through a rebirth. You may have had to make some serious decisions last month that only bring you to this moment. You didn't understand why then, but you understood that they had to be done. And it's been very clear ever since on how you're meant to build and make this worthwhile. This is going through another portal and making you realize how much you know how to accumulate and grow wealth. This also may be a change in trajectory on how you choose to work. Maybe you realize, maybe you ask for a raise, maybe you're given one, right? If you work for yourself, you may be on the precipice of making a lot more money, and right at the point where maybe you wanted to give up, keep going is what this is saying. There will be a resurgence. There will be a reward for your diligence. And it will cause you even to see how this showed you about what the next steps will look like. So you're entering a phase of rebirth, of ending one cycle and starting another one, whether at the same job, so whether it's a promotion or a raise or you, and this may really, or you leaving a job, going to another, your other business building, so you put all of your energy into yourself. Whatever that choice is, you feel so sure and so clear about it, that this rebirth feels more like just a new beginning, really. And this beginning has your whole focus behind it. And for the first time in a while, you probably never felt so sure. There's just a lot of inspiration right now in your energy, Cancer. So, and other people can't read you right now, so you love it even more, because nothing like a Cancer, they don't want to be read. Hey, you're just like, I'm stone facing this bitch and making money while I do it, okay? All right, Leo, you're up next. And your card fell out already. We're gonna go with it. Leo, this is for your 5th house of romance, of love, of creation, of children. There is something being released from you. You don't even have to try. It's like a passive release, and all of a sudden you feel like you're in a new era. All of this and that which you held onto and that had, and where it made things feel like they were too much or a lot or hard, is now just washing away. And it's allowing you a clear and clean slate. This is about a clean slate for you. You can clear it up with one sword, which will take a lot off of you. You'll feel lighter. But you have to be willing to understand that these attachments, unfortunately, were just keeping you stuck. They weren't real connections. This could be what you put your time and energy into. It doesn't have to just be a relationship, but your relationship to time and money, and what you invest your energy into, and whom, and why you think that should be profitable, but it should add to your life. It doesn't have to be profitable, but add to your life, and you realize that it's time for a clean slate. Even if things were going well, there's just this urge. It's not a force, it's an urge. And it's probably Pluto's urge sitting right across from you, but it's now the Sagittarius new moon urge that is coming through you and resurging your creative energy. Anything that's been, if you haven't cut cords, you can go internally and cut cords, but always use white light. Look it up. If they're not talking about white light, don't trust it. But cutting cords, cutting even ideas that you know you're not going to follow through on, and just letting go of even old ideas so that they can reform and come into your life as maybe a new one. You know, don't have too much expectation on that. Better let the universe come up with it, of course. But this is just a reset. Blank slate, Leo. Blank slate. Take a load off. All right, Virgo, 4th house of your foundations, caregivers, parents, reparenting yourself. Also about the home. What is Sagittarius new moon bringing into your life or showing you? What do you need to know? More of this Ace of Swords energy. Clear it out. Hey, look at you at the bottom. Clear it out. Clear it out. Clear it out so you can see in the dark. Clear it out. Clear it out. Clear it out. Let yourself use your words. Use them wisely. They cause great insight for you and others. You're sharp right now. You're sharp, and you're also tender. So if you're talking to parents or your loved ones, just notice where you're at before you move forward, and know that each interaction will give you a different insight to how it is that you've built your own foundation, perhaps. For others of you, this is about clearing the energy with that, clearing the field. If there's conversations you need to have, go ahead with yourself, with others, for yourself. So you can see what you haven't been able to, what you haven't been privy to. This is now the one sword. This is now where you have the opportunity to see the light. Through the communication, through the connection, through the digestion, that helps you process even more, especially if you're feeling tight in your hips. Maybe your stomach's been feeling tight, or your digestion's been off. Take a look into that. Process some things mentally. This is about processing things mentally, letting them out verbally, and vice versa. You're sharp. Things are moving. You're gaining great, valuable information at this time, and it's important that you use it. Okay, Virgo? All right, Libra, sun, moon, and rising. Libra, sun, moon, and rising. 3rd house, communication, extended family, maybe your siblings, maybe your friends. What do you do day to day? Libra, sun, moon, and rising. 10 of Wands, 4 of Cups, 2 of Wands. You've been working really hard to doubt yourself. Instead of doubting yourself, using all that energy to make a plan. The way you used to do things are no longer working, and it may feel very different, but it's important that you focus on what's ahead of you. It's important you put down how much energy you put into what has been, and start to realize how much energy you can put into where you can go from here. To step out into the field, to be honest, to be vulnerable, to not work so hard to not see how much goodness you have, abundance you have, It's in times of contemplation where you realize that you've been working externally only to come back to yourself and need to actually do the internal work. And maybe seeing a different way of communicating with others. The way that you've been communicating with yourself has caused you to need to come to a place of acceptance. And if you want to create something for the world, it's time to focus on that and start moving along on that plan. Don't be afraid to move forward. Don't be afraid to bring out the sword. Work on giving your attention to what is possible. What's being provided for you at this moment is, and it feels like maybe you're in between. But really, it's your chance to see things from this perspective, to communicate with yourself. Do things on the day-to-day that bring you more to a place of how you want to see the world. This is a great time to connect with your psyche in a way that you want to see the world, not the way others want to see it or shape it for you. This also may be a time to communicate with the people around you that you need support energetically. Maybe you need to reach out for help or a reminder to yourself that you can do whatever it is that you set your mind out to. It's important that you put yourself in other locations or situations in order to find some freshness there as well. All right, Libra. Beautiful. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is for your second house of your resources, your talents, your skills, what you got going on for everybody. And that's the King of Wands. Time to command the space. Command your resources. Take control, take your power back in these areas of your life. If there are skills and talents you're going unused, use them to magnetize to you, to manifest to you. And also, try not to be controlling on how it gets to you. Where are you wanting control and how is that deceiving you? Literally, wow. How is that actually causing more deception? What is an actual, this is more of an actual physical action. What's a physical, spiritual action that you can do that relates to a dream that you want to create? That relates to the way that you think and how much you have to offer. What do you actually want to put time and energy into? And if you're already doing that, now is the time to put this out there. Put something out there into the world. Command attention. Communicate. Use your God-given talents, Scorpio. Or any way that you need to take your power back with your talents. Any way that is going to help you transform the way that you put yourself out there. Right? This is about commanding the space. Don't be afraid to take up your space. To speak what you know, to stand your ground. You get to light your fire. All right. Sagittarius, first house. Sag, happy birthday. First house. Ooh, just too many cards. Too many cards. You can get your reading for this. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We are just going to re-pull. I'm just making sure. Got everything. First house, Sagittarius, for the new moon and your sign. Things become clear, where all gets dark for you to understand. This is for Sagittarius. Happy birthday. First house, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For the Sag new moon. Where it gets dark so you can see clearly what needs to be seen. What can't be hidden, even from the dark, is your power. what has been your Sagittarius? King of Wands and the Hierophant. There are places where maybe you have been very demanding of your power. For some of you, even abusing your power in some way, abusing your voice. And there are other view, which I do think this is more likely, that you need to speak up. You need to be clear. You have an audience and you need to, and if you don't, you start to create an audience. And if you don't, you start to create an audience for yourself. There is a very spiritual conversation you could also have if you're looking for guidance at this time from someone, or if you are the guidance for someone else. This can become very apparent at this time and really help you move forward. If not, be charitable in this moment. That will only cause for two sixes to come about, for this exchange in energy, and really maybe even good for your karma, good for your voice, good for what is becoming very obvious to you at this time, which is to own your power, to accept what is happening on an earthly plane, but also to invest your time in something that is going to help you, that is going to help you spiritually. This can also be creation of some sort. This can be devotion of some sort, whether to a religion, to a philosophy, a different way of life. You completely change your routine, but your identity is now shifting, and it just becomes very apparent to you. There's no hiding from it anymore. And that will you'll become even more aware of this towards the new moon. All right, Sag, Capricorn, 12th house. New moon is in your 12th house. Let's take a look. Ooh. 12th house. The more that you speak up, the more that you ask for help, the more that you receive this month, the more that you understand that there are some things you didn't know, some things that were hidden from you. 12th house, things that are hidden come out. Some losses as well, because you didn't know perhaps that what you were saying or what you were doing was affecting you in this way, but now you were able to receive this information. You realize where this has kept you maybe stuck from growing financially or physically in your life. You may also come up with an idea, or this may be an idea to help a financial burden at this time. Either way, it's helping you become more secure in your abundance, secure within yourself, secure within what you are feeling and pursuing at this time. You are now able to, maybe even for some of you, be able just to verbalize what's been going on with you, and you haven't been able to up until this new moon. This may be a really huge insight that you need to receive. So moving up to this day, if you feel like being in more silence, or you don't want to be so stimulated, you need to turn off some electronics, I would highly recommend it, because then the message only gets a lot clearer. All right, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Aquarius, 11th house, communities, good fortune, the people in your life. And the devil comes out. Can't get away from this, Capricorn. No, I'm kidding. So your attachments to people, to your community, it becomes very apparent how much they have brought you, and then how much energy and how much emphasis that you put on this community. There is a great sense of worth here as well. But there's something that is now out of your control, but you can take a controlled approach to the situation. What situation is that? Well, the goodness that you find, of course, it's about also giving back. Maybe this place and the space helped you. Maybe you're in a very Capricorn-like role where you're climbing up the ladder and it gave you, and you may be leaving, or that might be shifting, or you might be reigniting a fire in you to realize how much your self-worth has grown from being where you are. And now it's time to take that with you on your next journey, on where you're moving forward. If there's a Capricorn in your life, within this community that you've met, they've probably, whether in a positive or a negative way, have shown you and reflected your worth to you, or because of them, or consequently because of being in their vicinity, it's helped you grow your own worth and self-value. It could also be for some of you wrapping up some karma, a karmic debt. Okay. Pisces. Pisces is your 10th house, your career and your role. Could be changes in your role in life. Lots of King of Wands. All right. King of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, and 6 of Swords with Judgment at the bottom. Your message, Pisces, is to command your space, to give generously, and to be vulnerable and know that you are guided on this journey to give what you know. Give from a place of power, not from a place of being empowered. What do I mean by that? Someone is pressuring you into giving you something, or you feel you go back and forth about giving something to someone, or offering something to someone for less than you normally would. Be more vulnerable. Be willing to lose people. Be willing to help people. The only way to know is to stay centered, stay grounded. The Sagittarius new moon is showing you your own role, and you're creating that role. You're creating that space for yourself, whether it's at a job, in your personal life. There is a limb you're going out on because you trust yourself, and you feel like, and you know the time is now. You know the time is now. You've gotten the message. And it's not your fault if people have been slow on you. And maybe you're seeing in turn where you've been slow on others, but that's neither here nor there anyway, because some people want to come in with some malarkey, with some BS this month. And you have to be willing to be in your center to know what's true and what's not, to know what's real and what's just a facade, what people are trying to just get money from you or get something from you, information from you, some of your power, even power struggles internally, how they show up externally. If you have a superiority and an inferiority complex, because they are one and the same, this is you acknowledging what you need to in order to move forward. To take complete control back is that no matter what your circumstances are, you know yourself and you trust yourself, regardless of anyone else around you, regardless of what you've been fed or what you've been told. Okay, Pisces, you're wise, you are smart, you are empowered, and you know something, and it's time. It's time to show and act as if you know, and to be very clear about that in your own way. I'm not saying go tell the world. It's sharing when you feel. You don't have to play along with everybody else, okay? But things are balancing out. This month, this Sag new moon will make it very clear where you stand in yourself and how that is shown to the world. Okay, Pisces? All right, everyone. I'll see you next time in 2 weeks for the Gemini full moon. We're still a little ways away. All general readings will be up on my channel, and Patreon extended versions of those readings will also be available. Check out the sale for Black Friday and book a session below. I'll see you next time. Thank you for being here.